There, I have lips. Okay. Let's give everybody a second to come in. I have this wonderful idea. Hi, Misty. Hi, Sharma. Come on in, y'all. We're going to do some things. I've got this song stuck in my head. Just a little bit. How is everybody? I really, really love it. I really love it here. It's lovely. It's really lovely. Today, there was the second annual Sturgis Art Festival in town, and we went to town, and Emma got herself a beautiful handmade fluorite necklace and little bracelet, and she got herself a little keychain thing for her purse, and it was really fun. Well, here we are, Shell. I got a very interesting. I can't remember what it's called. When you compare something, when you make an example to compare an idea or to explain something in a different way, analogy. I got this great analogy. Why am I not able to see you? Why the live haven't started yet in my end? It started if you can see me, Sharma, and I can see you. See, I've got your comment here, and I'm putting it on the screen. Can you see it on the screen? I'm sorry to hear that. How are you, cousin? This is my cousin, Kelly. He's a hard worker. Hello, Elizabeth. How are you? Sheldon and I are linked up. Soul family. How are you doing, Miss Autumn? Long time no see. So I got this little download of information as an analogy. That's what it is, right? That's the word I'm looking for. And I thought it was it was so clever, and it really made sense, especially if you are, get out, dog. Look, I'm working, Riley May. She's like, no, you're not. Silly dog. Hello, Sarah from New Zealand. So anyways, it was just it made so much sense. I was explaining something to somebody about resistance and attachment. And it made so much sense. I wanted to get on here and share with you. And I figured, well, we might as well do some readings while we're here. Because I've been, the only thing that I can say about moving to South Dakota that is still taking me some time to kind of realign, like when I go live, because by the time when it rolls around to 7 p.m. Central, like it used to be when I would go live, I'm already exhausted, and most nights I'm asleep by 9. And so it's like, okay, we got to figure something out. So I figured I would do it earlier in the day. So from now on, I'm going to try to go live earlier in the day. So if you catch me, you catch me. And if you don't, I'm sorry. I'm probably going to be all over the place until I can bounce around like a ping pong ball and find where I'm going to land eventually, the sweet spot. So here we are. It's 3:00. Nope, it's 2:00 in the afternoon here. My laptop is still on Central Time for some reason, but it's 2:00 in the afternoon, and we'll see what happens, right? But I do want to share with y'all about the information that I received as an analogy. And then if you would like a message, where did you live at before you moved? Elizabeth, we lived right outside of San Antonio, Texas. And now we're in Sturgis, South Dakota. Yes, we did. We left. And so, anywho, we're doing paid readings today. And if you were interested in a paid reading, it's $22 for a message from your spirit guides in the universe for whatever you need to hear right now to help you. Okay, so please take a moment to share out. I appreciate everybody who shares. I send you a little bit of unconditional love for each share that you send out to the universe. And it's always wonderful to get unconditional love from such selfish slash selfless. I can be a little bit of both. I don't think it's wrong to be selfish. I think that we should all be selfish. I think that people have made it a very negative word, but that just means that you're caring for yourself. And I think that we should do that we should have equal balance of selfish and selflessness. Everything needs to be balanced. Thank you for sharing, my darling. Yes, it was a very big move. We moved up here. We got here May 17th, so it's only been a few weeks now. Whoops. It's only been a few weeks now since we've been here, but we really love it. You know, we really love it, and there's so many things to do, and it's just really enjoyable. Okay, so let me just take a moment to share this live out to a couple of groups that I normally share in. And okay, here we are. We're good. Okay, so if you're interested in a reading or a message from the universe, oh no, Misty, don't get in trouble. Don't get in trouble at work. Okay, then there are 4 different ways to pay in the description box of the video. In the meantime, before we jump into all that fun stuff, I've got my selenite tower here. I'm just going to put that on my lap. Keep everything going through me right nice and pure. Okay. So here I was talking to a friend, and the subject of the move came up. And, you know, so many people have asked me, what made you decide to move? What made you? I can't even tell you how many times I've been asked that question just in the last couple of weeks. It's literally every single person that finds out that we just moved is like, oh, why'd you do that? Like, I get like, it's just interesting because I almost have it all, on standby in my mind to explain, I've been explaining it in different ways to different people, but the best way that I've learned to describe it is just that the universe has conspired in a number of unseen and seen ways to create a timeline where my life path continued in South Dakota. So I feel like I was going in circles in Texas. I know that I was going in circles as far as my relationships were concerned. And I was repeating patterns and stuck in a loop, so to speak. And it's like, I just truly felt like I had to stop trying so hard to control what was happening in my life, right? Hi, Erin. How are you? Yes, I am. I'm settling well. How are you doing, my darling Danielle? How are you? Hello, Maria. Thank you, Jasmine, and happy belated birthday to you, my darling. But when there's an overwhelming, it's like you can ignore one synchronicity or 2 synchronicities or 3 synchronicities. But when you have 4 or more signs from the universe pointing you all in one direction, it would be detrimental for you to ignore that. I feel. I don't even think you should ignore one sign. I think as soon as you have a synchronicity that you should be aware of it. And I try my best to be aware of all the synchronicities that happen in my life. to take note of them at the very least, if not to take action, but to at least take note of them. But when there's an overwhelming amount of arrows pointing in one direction, it's like, neon signs like, hey, this is what you need to do, hey, 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 then you should probably listen to it. And yes, moving so far away. Hi, Xylan, how are you? What is a synchronicity? A synchronicity is two completely different words, phrases, people, or situations that have something in common. Like saying, my best friend's name is Sydney, and then the next thing you do, you meet somebody who's from Sydney, Australia. It's like, okay, these are two completely different things that happen that remind you of the other thing. That's what it is. It's something that reminds you of the other thing. That's what synchronicity, or you could call it a parallel or whatever, but sometimes it's not exactly parallel. But I had many synchronicities happen. And so finally sold a marital home and moved. That's why I've been missing online. Oh, okay. Well, that's good. That's all right. So we can hit enough. Yeah, it happens, right? And so there was all these, I'm going to say at least four synchronicities that happened to direct me to move to Sturgis. At least four. And that's only the ones that I noticed. I'm sure there was more, but that's just what I noticed. Actually, there was five. Interestingly enough, when I was packing up my house, I came across a trash bag of Travis's shirts, or shirts that had been given to Travis, like somebody didn't want them anymore. And there was two different Harley Davidson Sturgis t-shirts in this bag. It's just, so that was probably five, like all signs were pointing towards Sturgis. So, and then I felt this overwhelming sense of rightness with it. You would think that when you move away from everyone that you love and everything that has given you comfort for the last 30 years of your life, that you would be afraid or have some kind of apprehension, or just but I never experienced that, because it's like, as soon as I made the decision to move here, it felt so right that I was just looking forward to it. I wanted it to be done already. I could tell you the last 2 weeks that I was in Texas, I just wanted to be done already. I just wanted to be here. I just wanted to be in the next phase, in the next chapter, in the next part of my life. So that's just, to share a little bit about myself with you. And since we got here, it feels, I cannot even tell you how many times in a day that I see angel numbers every single day, like numerous times in a day, 5, 6, 7 times a day. I'm seeing angel numbers every single day. And it's like, okay, okay. There's so many signs that I'm exactly where I need to be. And it's, and strangely enough, I had a lucid dream last night about fighting the devil with alchemy. Interestingly enough, the devil's name was Beowulf, which is a movie about a man that fights an evil in a town. But in my dream, his name was Beowulf. And I had all of this power inside of me that I wasn't aware of. And I just stumbled upon it. And I woke up like, okay, that's interesting, because I don't normally have lucid dreams or anything like that. I think it's awesome to just pack up and move on. My life is so crazy with so much depression. I wish I could just leave. Maybe sometimes that's what we need to do. I'm not going to say that I was depressed. I'm not going to say that. I don't think that I was depressed, but I do feel that I was definitely comfortable. I was definitely comfortable in too much of a comfort zone to really, and doing something outside of my comfort zone has never been a strong suit for me, which is why it's so surprising that moving to South Dakota didn't scare me at all. Even only knowing one person well and another person not so well, which is a friend of the first person. Like even that didn't cause panic or alarm or discomfort. It just felt right. And when I was speaking to somebody about this today, how it came about is I just got this download of information. So bear with me. A lot of people have made the comparison of this reality as being in a video game, playing a video game, being in a video game, and that it's a constructed reality, and that it's you know you're an avatar in a game. And so, based on that premise, let's just go with that. Okay, let's go with that for a minute. And here I am, and I'm thinking to myself, and I'm trying to explain to somebody how to give up the need to control everything in your life and to just go with the flow, because people say go with the flow, go with the flow, but how do you do that? How do you Why would you give up control? Why? Like, I like to ask that question, why? And so as I'm sitting here and I'm typing out this response to a friend of mine, and I'm trying to tell them, like, this is what it's like. Okay, this is how I visualized it in my mind. Of course, I'm playing an old school Nintendo. Okay, just for reference here. See, remember back in the day when you were a gamer, because all of us have gone through that phase. I don't care if you were a little kid or what, but remember when you were a gamer, and the first time you start a level, you die almost immediately because you don't know what to do in that level. And the next time you might make it a little bit further and a little bit further and a little bit further until you get your timing down and you know your moves and you know when you're supposed to jump and when you're supposed to run fast, and you know what you're supposed to do all the way up to a specific level, and you get through those parts no problem, right? You're just going through the motions. It's second nature to you. Okay, no matter how many times you repeat the level. And it's frustrating, sure. But after you finish the level once, you know how to beat the level, right? That's not something that we forget. We're like, oh, we got to fight this big boss at the end. We got to bonk him 3 times on the head, blah, blah, blah. And you know all the moves to get through the level, to go on to the next level. Well, think of it in terms of you being the character in the game. Okay, let's just say, for example, that there's your oversoul or your higher self playing the game, pushing the controls. But here you are as the avatar, as your ego saying, no, I know what to do. And you decide you're going to jump instead of duck. And you decide you're going to go left instead of right. And you're literally slowing down the progress of the level of beating the game. Like, you're literally slowing down the progress by making up your mind, this mind. No, I'm going to do this instead of that. I'm going to go against what the controller is telling me to do, or your intuition or your higher self. I'm going to go against that. I'm not going to do my initial instinct, which is to go left. No, it looks dark over there. I'm going to go right. And then right ends up killing you or beating the crap out of you, so you lose most of your health. I mean, think of it in that respect. Okay, so what we really need to do is to just listen to that information coming in, because like picking up and moving 1,200 miles away, leaving everyone that I love, that's the scary left with where it's dark down there. That's the scary unknown. But that's the right thing to do, because that's the initial reaction was, well, and I can tell you that was back in 2020 or 2021 when Emma and I talked about moving. And I said to her, if you could move anywhere you'd want to move, where would you go? And she said South Dakota, because she really liked it when we came to visit. And that was her initial instinct. And my reaction was, I don't like the cold, which is a temporary physical manifestation of dis-ease, right? That's all it is. It's just a temperature. That's all it is. You can do things to combat the cold. Clothing exists, heaters exist. They're really, that was an excuse for to stop me from stepping outside of my comfort zone, right? If you can control it without being unjust to yourself and or another, or hurtful to yourself and or another, then proceed using your best abilities. Sure, that's all we're doing. We're just getting through this as best we can. But if you look at it in the respect of you are the avatar in the game and your higher self is trying its best to help you get to the end of the level. It's trying its best to help you get through the trial or the lesson or the situation or the heartbreak as best it can. It's when we ignore the guidance that we end up getting into those circles of, unhappiness. I'm happy for you. I wish you nothing but the best in life. You're very good. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you, Elizabeth. You haven't even seen me work yet. We're just sharing information that was downloaded right before. And I was like, I really need to share that with everybody because it will resonate with gamers and it will resonate with people who persevere, because honestly, you think about it like a river swimming upstream. That's really what we're doing. When we are trying to control the course of our life, we are swimming upstream against the river. And it's really difficult. It gets tiring. The universe is trying to make you move in a certain direction. It's trying to make you get from point A to point B with the least resistance. And you are the resistance, right? You are the resistance. Okay, so Miss Autumn would like to have a reading or a message from the universe. Okay, Autumn, I'm going to write you down. If you're interested in a reading today, they are $22 if you would like one. So let's see what the universe wants to tell Autumn today. We're so happy to see you, Autumn. Changing, changing, changing. We are showing patterns, showing you patterns. They are showing you the cycles. We are showing you the cycles. Some of them are smaller, brief. When we mean brief, it's less than 1 year, a cycle less than 1 week, a cycle anywhere in between, small. Recognize the patterns. Third eye on fire, Autumn. Third eye on fire. Do not mistake my kindness for weakness. This is your motto. Turn your head to the east and see the rising sun. Third eye on fire. Ace of Wands. We are we wish for you to meditate in the morning when the sun rises, Autumn. We do this for sweet dreams. Dreams become reality. Shifting your nature, patterns, cycles, infinite cycles. Do not allow yourself to be swept away. It's charming here. Charming. Are you charmed? Do not allow yourself to be swept away. Cycles. A pattern on your arm, your right arm. Do you understand this? Control the narrative. Do not be fooled by charm. Charm is simply manipulation. Third eye, third, 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 third. Autumn. A salmon animal guide is an amazing thing to look up. Salmon? Salmon? What? What about salmon? Hi, Deborah. Okay. I hope whatever I just said to you made sense. Oh, salmon for going upriver. I got you. Yeah, that makes sense. That would be good for Pisces, wouldn't it? Autumn, do you have a tattoo on your arm? My very first shaman journey, my shaman thought salmon would be seen. Was it? Was salmon seen for you? Salmon seen? Hey, that could be a tongue twister. Things happen, Autumn. Things happen. It's a good thing. Then it's talking about your skin issues. It's talking about the pattern on your arm, and I feel like your skin issues are related to your energy, okay? Your energy and your sensitive nature, okay? When we have a sensitive energy, we have a sensitive body, and we need to be more aware of what causes those sensitivities, okay? All right. What are mediums exactly? Mediums, how do you explain a medium? It is a person that connects through the physical and unphysical realms. It's like the go between, the bridge between the physical and the non-physical realms. Yeah. I'll go about seeing if you can reach someone who has passed. Kimberly, if you would like, is also to do with me putting my hand into fixing things that aren't my responsibility. Well, patterns, darling. You know, I understand that as well. You know, when we care about people, when we love people, we want the best for them. And sometimes when they don't take the initiative for that, or they don't safeguard against um, negative outcomes, we feel responsible because we love them and we want them to have their best life. But uh, who are we to decide that that's not something they need to learn on their own? You know, sometimes it is, sometimes 99% of the time, people need to learn on their own. Just pulled an info between our guides. I like being, it's not surprising. I felt very light. Um, yeah, I felt very light. It usually is accompanied by a slight dizziness. I'm used to being in the higher realms, so it's not overwhelming, but yeah, I was aware of light energy. Um, it just has to be, you have to sit back and ask yourself, one, it's not your responsibility. And two, how much is that going to deplete you to do that? How much is it going to set the other person back on their own learning journey? Because you can have somebody do your homework for you. That doesn't mean you're going to learn the lesson. You can have someone do your homework, but when it comes test time, you're going to fail the class. You know, that's just it is. Yes, Kimberly, I can reach all people who've passed that are connected to you. I'm not going to contact Elvis for somebody unless it's Elvis's relative. Does that make sense to you? Hi, Donna. How are you? Yes, we are having a wonderful weekend. I hope you understand the messages as they came through for you, Autumn. Okay, of course. By all means, you can message me. You're welcome, my darling. You're welcome. You're welcome. Hi, Sarah. How are you? I hope you're having a beautiful day today in Canada. We are doing $22 spirit messages from your angels, guides, loved ones, and the universe. If you're interested in that, it's $22. Please donate in the description box. There's 4 different ways to pay. That's fabulous. Em and I had a really good time at the art festival in Sturgis in town. We walked over there. It's not too far. Hello, Sharia. Sheree. I don't know how to say your name, honey. Sheree. Sherry? Shari? Shari. Hmm. Hmm. I don't really know. I don't really know how to pronounce your name. Shire. Okay. I was trying really hard. Hi, Linda. So, um, I want to know how everybody is doing. How are you doing? How is the gas prices affecting you? Is it making you limit where you go? Is it making you multitask a little bit better? I know some people are not good at multitasking or getting numerous errands done at one time to save time and to save energy. But it seems like the rising gas prices in our world right now could maybe contribute to spending a little more time at home or doing things within walking distance. That might be good for you. Also good for the environment, huh? Hi, Tawny. Your daughter did a beautiful job today. You should be so proud. We are just hanging out, channeling messages from the universe for those that want them. Uh, for those that don't want them, then we're not doing that. It's completely your choice. You cried a lot. Of course you did, you big softy. I would be surprised if you didn't. Of course you did. Ooh, that kind of pulled the stuffing out of me for a second there. Mm. So has everybody been trying to manifest lower gas prices? If we can use our collective energy to visualize the price tag to be $2.99 or less, that would be lovely. I thought it was crazy when it was $3 a gallon. If I roll my eyes any harder uh, at 4.50 a gallon, they might get stuck in the back of my head. Yes, I saw that. I saw that, Tawny. Nine in the morning. Well, good morning to you, Edith. I hope you've got your cup of coffee or your cup of tea and you're ready to go. Great rising. Great rising. Grand rising. Hello, Marcia. Come on in. We're hanging out. I had planned on, since it's the first week of June, I will be at some point either today or tomorrow. I will be doing a live tarot card reading for the astrological signs. This is going to be what's coming in June for each sign. Trying to manifest baby formula for the struggling families that can't find any. I know, Shire, it's so horrible that the Biden administration sent so much of our baby formula over to the Ukraine, isn't it? It's the saddest thing. And also a lot of plants and things like that have been shut down because they found toxic heavy metals in the baby formula, which is something that should have been corrected a long time ago, I do believe, when it was first brought up, that they should have corrected that. They took their sweet time, but hopefully now that things are being checked a little bit better, hopefully now, baby formula will actually be healthy for babies. But yes, let's all manifest a better world for ourselves and everyone else, right? I mean, if your thoughts create your reality and we're all thinking the same thing, don't you think that reality wouldn't have a choice but to shift? Don't you think? 475 in Pennsylvania. Yeah. Kim, it's raising every day here in South Dakota, literally every day. It's crazy town. It was just $4.29 like 2 days ago, and I'm like, I better fill up. And then sure enough, it's like $4.50 now, and I'm like, man, I'm so glad I listened to myself. Prices are insane here. Also, gas is about $2.89 per liter, and I used to only shop at one place for all my food. Now I'm having to shop around 2 or 3 different places to get the best prices and cheaper shop. I'm telling you, Edith, it's we all have to be resourceful, right? We have to be resourceful. We have to use our resources widely. Use your brain power. Figure out what the costs are at the different places first. Make a list of what you have to get where. $6 in California. Wow, Marcia. That's crazy. It's also a Democratic state, which, yeah, it surprises me. Yeah, it's really getting out of hand, don't you think? Don't you think they should open the Keystone Pipeline? I mean, just crazy thoughts over here. Just crazy thoughts. $8 in Chicago. Shut up. Wow. Yeah. It's crippling. It's really crippling. Something has to give. Something needs to change. Quick, like, they should open up the Keystone Pipeline. They should start allowing people to frack again, because there's a limited amount of fracking licenses. We should not be so dependent on other countries. Yeah, the food prices are through the roof. Like, I used to eat out. Story time. I used to eat out twice a day. I did not like to cook. I don't like to cook. I spent a majority of my life in the restaurant industry cooking, and I just don't like to do it. And so Emma and I would eat out once or twice a day, almost every single day. And then, now it's like we go one place for breakfast, when it's like $40, and it's like, that's eggs, for God's sake, or we go to lunch and it's $50. And it's just, everything is $50 now, it seems like. So I'm like, okay, we're gonna have to start eating at home. I'm gonna have to start cooking, because I can't just work to eat. That's crazy. I used to do that, but now it just feels like a bad idea. But anyways, if nobody's going to do readings, then I guess it's not the right time for me to be employed with y'all. I was, strangely enough, thinking about getting a job around here, because I don't know why. It just feels, I don't know, this is a little unstable right now. But anyways, that's just something I need to think on some more. Who knows? Maybe I will, maybe I won't. I do know that I will be in Wisconsin on August 9th and August 12th doing shows in Wisconsin, doing live gigs in Wisconsin, events where you can go and buy a ticket and possibly get a message from your loved one in person. Very powerful energy in person. It's really wonderful. It's really life-changing. And if you are in Wisconsin or near Wisconsin, near Millston, Wisconsin, or Fond du Lac, Wisconsin, I highly recommend you come to the show, see me in person. It's going to be wonderful. Okay, so I want to thank everybody for coming on. I hope you got to hear the message at the beginning of the live stream. If not, by all means, go watch the playback, the replay. Okay? Thank you all for joining me today. I hope you have a wonderful afternoon.